Yo, what is going on, everyone? It's your boy Sawk here, and today I'm bringing you guys my PCL Week 2 battle against Brendan, aka Dark Nap Time 26. Be sure to check out his side. He did do a live com, so if you want to hear his reactions as the game goes on, it was quite a long game. It was almost 45 minutes, I believe, and the first kill didn't happen for like the first 10 turns, and after that it took forever. But once the kill started rolling and everything just started dying. But we're going to get right into it. If you guys don't know what I'm bringing, be sure to check out yesterday's team builder video. It was a pretty short video. It doesn't take that long to go watch. It was like 5 minutes or so. And it kind of explains what I brought, my reasoning for bringing each set. And if you guys haven't noticed by now, I do have my morning voice on. I just woke up. I actually have my coffee right next to me. So we're going to get right into it, see if my voice wakes up halfway through the battle like last time. But going into this game, I was pretty sure that Diancie was a safe lead because it checked everything from Zard to Weavile to Buzzwole to Gliscor and Mew to a certain extent if it's not super bulky Mew. Now Charizard can take a Earth Power, as it does have to Mega Evolve first turn when it's out. So that could be something we could see later. However, I was pretty safe with Diancie leading, going against Zard, Weavile, Buzzwole, Gliscor, because that's super effective hits for all those. So with that, let's get right into it. So have fun, Brendan. I hope you enjoy this match, as we are going to challenge Pokemon trainer Brendan right here, as he does bring 6 Pokemon. I have seen it before, and he does lead with his Charizard. Now, me leading with Knowles here at the Diancie, realizing, alright, this is going to be an interesting turn. I'm going to pause it right here right away. So first thing that I notice is that, of course, he sent it out first, but that doesn't mean anything in battle. He could be a bulky Zard, and if he's a bulky Zard, this is bad right away, because if I throw out an Earth Power and he has like Steel Wing or something, it's not going to be good going for the first section of this battle, because I'll just lose my Diancie, which outright helps me check over half his team. So I'm going to double first turn, trying to get in a different mon, as he does do it himself, fearing that Earth Power, and he does go into Testosterone, the Buzzwole. I will swap out my Diancie in here and go into my Rotom here. Now, I can threaten this with a Will-O-Wisp if I had it, so I know he'll probably want to withdraw. So he does withdraw himself as he goes into Gliscor. Now on this turn, I actually Volt Switched, trying to get some momentum, predicting the Zard to want to come back in on the Will-O-Wisp. And that was a really gutsy play going into on his Gliscor on my Rotom, because if I clicked Will-O-Wisp that turn, Gliscor does not get his Toxic Orb, and he does not at all get anything back. His Toxic Orb is just useless at that point. So it was a very risky play, however it did work for him. He does withdraw his Gliscor into his Tapu Fini, aka Fini. And the way he brought it in, I'm thinking, alright, this just wanted to take like an HP Ice if I wanted to go for it, as I am going to just hard swap out into my Gastrodon here. So, knowing that I can take whatever it wants to throw out at me, I'm going to go right into Genesect, making a very aggressive play, as Genesect will see the light of day for the first time. Unfortunately, it did not get nicknamed, but we didn't have time to do that. However, I do get the attack raise, as first turn he goes for a Moonblast, which is a pretty aggressive play, as it does a lot of damage, taking me down to 97. That did 60 points of damage. Holy cow, Batman. And that has to be, it's not Modest Specs, I believe it was Timid Specs, as he does get the special attack drop. Now that's pretty big here, as I do think he's going to want to predict a Shock Drive, because as you can see right here, you can see what drive I have in, which is actually really cool. But I digress. I do go for Ice Beam here, predicting the Gliscor, as he does, like I said, you can see what drive I'm holding, and thinking, okay, he knows what drive I'm holding, he's going to swap into Gliscor. I'm going to try to get really aggressive here, because he's been playing aggressive the entire game. And the one turn he does not decide to go for an aggressive stance, he stays in on my Ice Beam, and it does 4, maybe, as he does Moonblast, and just drop me down even lower. At this point, I just said I had enough of it. I just went for Technoblast right here, fire off a strong electric type move, as you can see that cool animation pops out. It does over half. And with the Moonblast, he is going to knock me out right here. So Genesect will fall. It was a crit, but it did not matter as Genesect does go down. Oh well. I do go into my Rotom here, and I do go for Volt Switch, just trying to get some momentum, because I know I can get something going on this, as he does withdraw. And guess what? He goes into Gliscor, predicting the Volt Switch yet again, and he does get the play right. So this Gliscor is becoming a problem for me already, as the Misty Terrain does disappear. And I go from my Rotom, I double into my BEWEAR, knowing I can take whatever hit he wants to go for, and I can just toss off an Ice Punch. He does go for Protect here, as I believe he does swap out, and I want to say he goes into Buzzwole. No, he goes into Mute, as I do click Ice Punch for the first time, revealing I do have Ice Punch, and it does a decent chunk to me. It would have been really fun if I froze him. I just thought about that. But I am going to pull back into my Rotom, as I know this can take on almost any sort of Mew variant he wants to go for, but he does go for the Rock Polish, which is a very surprising tech out of his end. He does get that Speed Raise. I'm just going to click Foul Play here, because it's super effective. It'll do a good bit of damage because base 100 stats. He does go into his Charizard, as I do click that Foul Play here. Get that cool animation off, as it does do probably around, we're going to say 35%. As he does Mega Evolve here, as he does get that cool Mega Charizard X off, as you guys saw last week on his end. He does 6-0 his opponent last week with Mega Charizard X. He does Roost off this Foul Play damage. However, since he's Megazard X, now he gains even more attack, which means my Foul Play is going to do a little bit more than last time, probably around 42%-ish. He does Roost again, and he does get some HP back, I do believe. As I go for Volt Switch, I'm tired of this game. I am just going to go right into something else that can take this on. As I do Volt out, and Diancie comes on in. Now, knowing and running some calcs, he is definitely a bulkier Zard, so I know I can outspeed this. So what I believe I do here is I go for the Earth Power, trying to hit this, as he predicts it very well and goes into Gliscor. As I do get my Mega Evolution off, Mega Diancie Knowles will come onto the field and go for that Earth Power. It's not affect the Fat Bat, the Gliscor. This Gliscor is becoming a real problem for me. He does go for the Protect here, as I go for my Hidden Power Ice, revealing I am HP Ice. So now I believe he goes into his, I want to say he goes into Buzzwole here. Yes, he does go into Buzzwole. Awesome. So he does go into that cool Buzzwole, as I click Calm Mind, knowing he's going to want to swap. So I do get that cool Calm Mind animation off, and I do get the +1 special attack and a +1 Spadef. Now, I believe I fear this thing is Scarf, because I know this thing gets Iron Head. I believe I swap out and I Rotom, if I'm not mistaken. No, I go into my Gastrodon here. Oh, my bad. So I do go into Gastrodon, thinking that he's probably going to click Iron Head, but he does click Earthquake. Now, unless he's adamant, I believe I have a chance to live that Earthquake, so I don't understand why he did not click Iron Head there. Because I do believe this is a Scarf Buzzwole from the way it was brought in on me, and the way that it was played. I do get a little bit of HP back with leftovers, as the Earthquake did not do a whole heck of a lot. He does withdraw his Buzzwole, and he goes into Tapu Fini. Now, knowing this thing is Choice Specs AF, he brings up the Misty Surge, and I believe I just Scalded. Yeah, I just Scalded trying to get the burn on Buzzwole originally. I'm just going to get damage off on this Tapu Fini right here. And we'll get into this matchup later in the game. I do get a little bit of leftovers back, as I am going to withdraw. I realize that I need Gastrodon for the rest of this game, and I do go into my Rotom here in order to get this next kill. He does click Moonblast, as from a Choice Specs Tapu Fini, it is going to do a decent chunk to a not very effective Rotom Heat. I do have a little bit of bulk in me this week, as you guys saw. I do get a little bit of HP back with those lefties, as I believe he does withdraw his Tapu Fini into his Charizard. Now, I do double myself, knowing that he's going to want to come back, considering it being bad for him, as I do pull a nice double into Mega Diancie, knowing that it can take on preferably the rest of his team besides maybe like Iron Head, Choice Scarf, Buzzwole. He does go into his Megazard X, as I do click Earth Power, outspeeding him the first time, and I will do a good chunk of damage, bringing him to about, we'll say 15%, as he Earthquakes himself. Now, this is where him being a bulky Charizard comes on in and not having enough attack investment. I go from 135 to 1 HP. No Focus Sash, but because he didn't have enough attack investment, I had a roll to live, and I got the roll. I lived on one, and I'm able to get another hit off and save this as fodder for something later. He does go into Buzzwole here, as I believe I clicked Moonblast, just because I knew it hit the rest of his team, as I do click that giant Moonblast from Mega Diancie, and that just outright OHKOs Buzzwole, and Buzzwole will go down. So, Mega Diancie picking up another kill on this, as I believe he goes into his Sneasel here. As I realize Mega Diancie is nice to have just as a sack for the rest of the game, so I think I'm going to keep this around if I'm not mistaken. So I do pull Mega Diancie back, and I go into my BEWEAR, which is a Weavile check and counter at this point. He does go for the Ice Shard. As we can see, this does negligible damage. And he's Life Orb Weavile. That's Life Orb Weavile, and it didn't do anything. Now this is where I reveal a hidden tech. I'm like, screw it, there's nothing else I have to use. I'm just going to pop the Z-Fly. I do pull up that Z-Move animation. I hit that flying Z-Move, throw the fist up in the air as I see my big boy BEWEAR getting ready to launch itself in the air. His people need him. It's a supersonic sky strike from a BEWEAR. When have you ever seen a BEWEAR jump that high besides the anime? Look at him, he's ascending to the heavens, and now he's just gonna bounce on you, bounce off and go steal yo girl, as Mega Charizard X comes in on the double and just outright dies. So BEWEAR picks up another interesting KO in week 2. Next up in, we do have Mew coming on in. Now, knowing this is Rock Polish, and I believe it has Psychic as well, just because it has to, I do click Toxic here as he does go for the Rock Polish, knowing that he's just going for game right at this point. So I thankfully hit the Toxic, so BEWEAR putting in the utmost finest of work. As Mew does get the Toxic, because of his synchronized that just pop here, I do get Toxic myself, which isn't too bad. BEWEAR did his job this week. It checked a Pokemon, it threw off its cool Z-move, it Toxic'd Mew, it did everything I needed it to and more. So, as we do see here, I do pull back my BEWEAR into my Rotom Heat here, trying to waste some turns of Toxic, trying to get some, hopefully not get crit, and don't get the Spadef drop, as he does do quite a lot with his Psychic. He's very much invested, and I am not that much invested in Spadef, however I do have some HP investment. So the Toxic is going to start wearing off on Mew, as he does click Psychic again, and Rotom Heat will go down, unfortunately. So we do see that animation, rest in peace Rotom Heat, as that Toxic does start wearing more down on Mew. I do go into my Gastrodon here, scouting for the Energy Ball, and I am going to pull a double right into my BEWEAR. Nope, I go for the Protect first, trying to get some more damage off on this Toxic, as he does use Energy Ball. We do see the Energy Ball pop in here, as I do get my Squeezy Protect myself. And I believe right here, he takes a little bit more Toxic damage, so with the next one he will die to his Toxic damage. I do go into my BEWEAR because I do not need it anymore. It has done its job, like I've said. So, BEWEAR is going to come on in as rest in peace BEWEAR comes on out. He does pull off his Psychic Z-move. He does go for the Z Psychic. It was either Psychic or Psyshock, and judging we haven't seen Psyshock, I'm just going to guess it's Psychic, which is going to hurt a BEWEAR from a Mew. He does go for that Shattered Psyche, as this is one of the coolest animations, by the way. I don't like seeing my BEWEAR have to like hurt up that though. Like look at this boy at the end there. He just wants to hug. He doesn't want to get hurt, as it's super effective. Z-move stab, a little bit of overkill, but BEWEAR will faint here, as the Mew will go down itself. As we see right there, fake Mew's just ripped in peace. He does go into his Weavile right here. I almost said Sneasel, as I do go into my Diancie. Now, there's a couple things that could happen on this play. He could Ice Shard and just outright kill me, as I'm going to let this animation come on in quick. He does have the pressure, of course, as I'm going to stop it right here. So a couple things can happen right here. It's a 3-3 matchup, and he has a very low Tapu Fini. He has Weavile, and he has Weavile, Gliscor, and Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini being very low, and Gliscor I know is very bulky. So knowing that Mega Diancie does do a little bit of work here, however it's only at 1 HP, I can't do too much with it. So I am just going to sack off Diancie here, hoping maybe he wants to swap into Gliscor or Tapu Fini, but he just goes for the straight knockoff, outspeeds and KOs, as Diancie Knowles will go down. It is on Garchomp and Squeezy to win this game. Squeezy does come on in, the blue Gastrodon, the best Gastrodon, and I know I can take any hit this Weavile wants to go for, and he knows that as well. So he goes right into his Gliscor here on my Scald, fishing for a burn on the Weavile is exactly what I played for, and I am going to click that Scald. It does do almost half, which is pretty solid damage from a Gastrodon. Gastrodon's a strong boy, as he does get that Poison Heal off, making this an easy 3-hit KO, but never a 2-hit KO unless I get the crit. I do pull a double into my Garchomp here, as he does click Earthquake. I know Garchomp can take this Earthquake very well, and I can threaten it with a Outrage, I can threaten it with a Dragon Claw, I can threaten it with a couple of things, because Garchomp is a pretty cool move pool. However, I lack Dragon coverage, so I have to go for Iron Head here, try to get a flinch. I do lose some HP, and I do get the flinch right away. However, this is a losing battle because I'm getting more life or recoil than he is losing HP. So I do go for the Crunch, fishing for a defense drop, as I do bring him down below half, and this is within Scald range, and he does go for the Ice Fang, which is really solid tech on his end, as Garchomp will go down. I do get that Rough Skin though to activate, but Garchomp, alas, will fall in its first game. So we see that down there. Next up, Gastrodon does come on in, as we see here, and he does go for the Earthquake. It is all on Squeezy to try to save this game. Let's see how much damage Earthquake does. It does 30%-ish, and I do kill it with a Scald on that turn, so Gliscor does go down, and this game is now just causing differential. I just want to save a differential point or two because I know I'm going to lose this game, unless for some reason Gastrodon can tank this Specs Moonblast, or he clicks Surf by mistake, and I get that HP back, and I have a chance to kill. He does click the Moonblast, though. He does not choke the game away. He clicks the correct move as I drop down into the red. I live on 9 HP. I do click the Earthquake. Maybe I can get this kill and save our differential point. Only get 1-0'd. Nope, he does live on around 10 HP himself. As of course, I will drop here after Squeezy gets this little bit of leftover recovery. He does click Moonblast here to finish me off, and your Minnesota Twinneedles start the season off 1-1, plus or minus 0, as Squeezy the Gastrodon does drop down.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
Now, it was a 2-0 victory for Brendan, so GG to him for that. But something I learned in this game was be sure to do my mock battles and really pay attention to what sets are brought, why it's brought. In my first week mock battles, I realized that, hey, this Pokemon does work against you, ha 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 ha. But now I'm starting to realize, okay, this specific set does work. So a Specs Tapu Fini was not something I ever expected to come against me. Otherwise, the rest of his team was pretty much standard from what I had seen and what my front office was giving me knowledge on. So, a learning week this week. However, we will come back next week against JB and his Colorado Bouffalons, and that will be next week. However, go check out Brendan's side. He has a couple cool videos. His streams are really awesome. He's overall a really great guy, and he takes a lot of naps. So tell him Dark Nap Time 26 won this battle, and with that, I think I'm going to get on out of here, guys. Peace out, Girl Scouts.